What a great idea. On the way to the office, in the daily traffic jam, let go of the steering wheel, lean back, read a book or plan the next holiday. This futuristic vision could become reality within a few years. The suppliers of intelligent car software, alongside some completely new entrants to the automobile sector, may turn out to be very interesting investments. Our new Werthstein Zeitgeist driverless cars. The traditional automobile companies are adding new features every year to bring the cars closer to being driverless. They face a challenge from corporations such as Alphabet, who favoring a single technology leap direct to self-driving cars. Companies that make the specialist components needed for autonomous cars will profit, and some of their valuations are close or even below the general market.
Be it London between 7 and 10 in the morning or Frankfurt between 4 and 6 in the afternoon, it's always the same picture. Irritated drivers steering their cars through congested streets. Lucky the motorist whose vehicle not only foresees the traffic jam but also takes control, whether of distance, lane or speed. Traditional car makers are moving towards autonomous driving with ever more new features.
Giles Keating, president of the Werthstein Institute, to use the language of the Zeitgeist, will companies such as Daimler, BMW and Volkswagen be overtaken by other autonomous driving cars?
It is a battle. The old-fashioned automakers are in a fight with new technology companies like Google. And the old-fashioned companies are just trying to add a little bit of a new gizmo every year, whereas the tech companies just want to really leap ahead and just go straight to driverless cars.
And who is winning the race?
Well, it's a race of very high stakes. PwC think that the market could grow tenfold to over $200 billion by 2030. And who are the winners? It's the specialist companies, the parts companies doing sensors, all the special equipment. It's the tech companies, and even people engaged in ride sharing, which could take a 20% share. That's companies like Uber. The losers, the old-fashioned companies.
Robert Rothmann, Werthstein Institute Honorary Fellow in Zurich. What is the intention behind this Zeitgeist?
Well, we think the Zeitgeist is actually quite difficult to ignore. Record that 1.2 billion cars are on the roads globally, and the sector makes up over $7 trillion, which is twice the size of the German economy. At the same time, it's very inefficiently organized, with cars essentially 95% of the time spending in parking spots and also contributing to about 1 million deaths per year. So all this together makes the sector ripe for disruptive change.
How fast is this market growing?
Well, I think the impressive growth is unlikely to come from the big incumbent players, but rather from the suppliers of the radars, the cameras, the sensors, the precision mapping systems, and even the semiconductors. For example, if you look at the semiconductor projected growth rates in this chart, you'll see that they're projected to grow by 60% per year over the next 8 years. That's really significant growth.
Valérie Plagnol, Werthstein Institute Fellow in Paris. How will this trend change our lives?
Well, I'm very much inclined to think that the autonomous vehicle revolution will come first into public investment, especially when you think of buses in inner cities or collecting garbages in the suburb. This is really where the trend will start and change our lives.
You discovered something in Switzerland.
Yes, the historical city of Sion has already been running autonomous buses for the citizens. Actually, you see that with connectivity and apps, people are able to locate the buses, they are able to find the timetable and just hop on and hop off whenever they want. You can even imagine in the future more flexible, more frequent itineraries being built up with those small buses running into the city where actually individual vehicles will be banned. So this is, I believe, the kind of revolution we're looking for.
Giles Keating in London, what about the valuations of the sector? Can you invest at sensible prices?
Yes, the good news is that the valuations really are not silly. In fact, they stand in many cases well below the valuation of a lot of technology and software companies. The bad news is there just aren't that many companies. Quite a lot of the specialists have already been taken over by big generalist companies.
Let us take a brief look at the legal position often mentioned in this context.
The USA is the pioneer in this area. In some states, such as California, driverless cars are already legally on the road. In Europe, things are not so far advanced. The EU Commission wants to introduce a uniform legal framework by 2019. A few months ago, the United Kingdom took some important measures to promote driverless technology, and the process is now also underway in Germany. In January, the government amended the German Highway Code. Federal Minister of Transport Dobrindt said automated driving is the greatest revolution in mobility since the invention of the automobile. To make it possible, we are now creating the world's most modern traffic law.
The greatest mobility revolution since the invention of the automobile. If you want to be there as well, add the new Zeitgeist to your Werthstein portfolio.